Jerome, welcome back. It's good to see you again today. I hope you got some rest. Last week you looked like you were so tired. And this week you don't have testing, so I trust that your week is going very well for you. So we're here, second session, and we were discussing about your physics class. I did talk to your physics teacher, and I had to ask her if you normally talk in such a low tone of voice in class, and she didn't seem to have any concerns about that. But she did say that you do participate a lot in class, so that was good to hear. So I think today, if you would just elevate your voice a little bit so that we can hear you clearer. I just felt like I wasn't hearing you the last time, and I want to hear your voice. So tell me, how is your week going so far?
It's alright so far.
It's all right so far?
So far, yeah.
Okay. What's the highlight of your week?
School being out.
Oh, school being out. Okay, well that would be a highlight. And you told me that you did have an opportunity to talk to your physics teacher. Tell me a little bit about how that went.
I don't know, she's just like, yeah, sure, as long as you're able to do well on these tests and I grade them, you'll be fine.
So you said if you do well on these tests, the information is in the textbook though, right? And so you'll be studying the material and then taking the test. So when she said do well, define what you think well means.
Getting like a B at least
A B at least? So about how long is each test?
It just depends on what it's on.
Okay, the section that you would start with, that you're familiar with your book, the section you would start with, about how long would you say that test is?
20 minutes-ish.
How many questions?
Well, it depends. If you have free response questions, that's like one free response question.
Free response question?
Yeah.
Okay, was that a writing question?
Yeah, kind of.
Wow, physics has free response questions. Okay, well, you're gonna follow through on that, and how many are you gonna try to get in before school ends?
At least two.
At least two? Well, why don't we make that as a goal for today? You say at least two, and your goal on those tests is to do your best, which would be the highest score possible, because remember again, the goal is to improve your grade in physics. So at least two. So that means which days would you have to plan on taking or turning in that work in order for it to be considered?
I don't know if in the next few days.
Next few days? Okay, so today's Tuesday. And
So
could you do one
I'd say I'm gonna try to do one tomorrow and Thursday.
tomorrow and Thursday? And does that require you doing work at home?
Yeah, of course.
All right. And then you have your other classwork as well for other classes. So how are you planning to balance that time so that you can squeeze in these extra assignments? What could you do that you would have to change? What do you have to change?
Sleep. I could have to cut back on a few hours of my sleep.
Cut back on a few hours of your sleep. Okay. What time do you normally go to bed?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. And does that mean you'll be going to bed earlier, later?
Later.
Later. How much later? Because you
An hour or two later.
hour or two. So 9, that would put you in bed probably at the latest about 11 o'clock. And is that something you'll be willing to give up, some of your sleep, in order to accomplish your goal?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What? How can you hold yourself accountable for those nights, especially when you go home and you're feeling a little tired from the day, and you are doing your homework for all your classes, considering the workload? How can you hold yourself accountable to make sure that you get those assignments done this week? Because I won't see you until next week.
No, I can write it down somewhere or something.
Write it down. Why don't we do that before you leave today? We'll have you write down some notes and keep track of them so that you will remember that that is what your plan is. And you'll study so that you can do your best and get those grades turned in before you take off for the summer. All right? Okay. Anything else that is on your mind today? One thing that you mentioned in the last session, we were talking about going to college, and I had asked about your thoughts on what you want to study, what you thought you would do, and you said you were still trying to work that out. I know you probably haven't thought about it much, but if you had to pick an area to study, you can do anything that you wanted to do. What area would you want to focus on, maybe, or explore, research, and see if that's something that you might be interested in? In the past, we talked about engineering because you're very good in math. We talked about computers. Do you remember that? We talked a little bit about computers. You don't recall that? Okay, well let's see. Let's pick some areas today. What do you do when you're not in class? Do you have any hobbies? No. No hobbies? Oh, you gotta have a hobby. What do you like to do? Okay. Do you like to read? Not really. Do you like to write? Okay, well I know you like to use the computer because we've talked about computers. So when I say like to use computers, you mentioned that you like video games on the computer. But in terms of a major in college, we want to see if there's an area that we could explore and it would be something that you would be interested in. We want to target an area so that come next year we will be able to focus on that and to see what we can do about applying to colleges that offer that particular major. So computers, if you had to pick computers or engineering, which one would you select? I think I even remember you talking about architect too. But computers engineer, what else? How can we narrow this down? You gotta help me, give me some feedback. Speak up a little
I
bit.
could look into it for like next week or whatever and see that.
You wanna look into it for next
For
week?
next week, yeah.
When we meet again, you mean you'll have something to share at that
Something
time?
more to share, I guess.
Okay, this is in terms of your college. Okay. Any thoughts about what you would do first, though, to look into it? Would it be just doing a Google search, you think? Or talking to friends?
Multiple Google searches.
Multiple Google searches. Okay, that sounds like a good plan for next time. So you have a couple of goals that we set in today's session. We're talking about your physics assignments. You're gonna strive to do or to complete 2 exercises this week and work with your teacher on getting those graded as a means of extra credit or a way to boost your grade for the end of the school year. And then you're going to explore some college choices. How many college choices do you think you want to discuss after your exploration? Do you want to discuss 2? You want to discuss 3? Maybe even just 1? Why don't we just narrow it down to 1? Because I think you have a full plate for this week with getting through the rest of your finals and then those additional physics exercises. So if there's one area that you could pick for next time, give me some feedback on what we could talk about in terms of this major that you might want to study. What are some things that you think would go along with it as you are looking toward college?
How much I enjoy it.
How much you enjoy it. It'd be interesting to see. I'm still surprised that you say you don't have any hobbies or anything that you like. I know there must be something that you do. Do you like to do things with your hands? No. Okay, so that must mean you're utilizing your mind. You're doing something with your mind, doing mental calculations. We know you like to talk. We know how much you like to talk, especially in our sessions, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Um, how can we incorporate some things that will cause you to talk? What do you like to talk about?
Um,
You you gotta know, Joe. If you don't know, who would know? Who would know?
I don't know who would know.
But you, yeah, I'm sure you have friends. You're on campus. You're sociable around your peers. I see you on campus, and I see you interacting. What about sports? What did you do? There was one area of sports that was of interest to you last year. What was that? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Track and stuff.
Track. Tell me about track. How long did you participate in that sport?
For a semester.
For a semester?
Yeah.
Now, how long is a semester?
Semester is like 20 weeks.
20 weeks. And so you ran track for 20 weeks. Did you do any competitions?
Yes, I did.
Oh, where?
At various schools.
What school do you remember? Which one had the best track?
Sotomayor.
Sotomayor. Yeah. About how many were on your team?
I don't know. Had a
Your
lot
move?
of people.
Huh?
Had a lot of people on our team.
A lot of people? Now, what's a lot of people?
A lot of people is more than just me, more than just, people in one event.
Okay. Okay. Your foot okay?
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get back to my computer, so.
Get back to your computer. You were working on an exercise, I know, before you came down to see me. And I appreciate your taking that time out because it is important for us to meet together because I want to make sure that you are involved in the process of picking a college to apply to and following up on that. And I'm really hoping that we will be able to look into some scholarships for you. And another thing that I think would be good is if you can think about some community service activities where you can get some volunteer work in as well. I know scholarships, they really pay attention to students who are involved in community service, and so I want that to be strength for you, an area where you could develop over the next school year as well. So with that, do you plan on doing any sports next year? Do you want to run track next year?
Yeah,
Maybe?
yeah, depending on how I feel about it.
Is that all it depends on how you feel about it? Okay. Now, how do you have to feel to do
I
it?
feel like I want to go out there and just run and have fun doing it.
You like running.
Sometimes.
And when do you not like running?
I don't like running.
At the competition at Sotomayor, did you get to participate in that team on the track at that school? And how did you do?
Okay-ish.
Okay-ish. Can you elaborate a little bit on what that means?
Like, I feel as if though I trained for the event that I competed in, that I would have done better. But I was just kind of thrown into that event. And yeah, like, it was good. I like the event now, but like back then I just kind of wasn't like ready for the bigger event.
You don't think you were prepared?
No, not for that event.
When you said thrown into the event, what do you mean?
Like, they asked me to run 400 for them, and I don't run that far usually.
Oh,
So
okay.
I got third.
Well, that's a major accomplishment. If you were not prepared going in and they asked, they must have thought very highly of you to ask you to run that and thought that you were very capable of competing in that area. And then you placed third.
I was talking about being capable of winning it.
Oh, of course, right? Winning it is the goal, right? But you placed third and you don't think that was good enough. Well, if you were prepared for it, do you think you would have won? Have
I
won?
would have done better.
You would have done better. Okay. What are some of the obstacles that you would see or you would determine are barriers, problems that would be keep you from maybe running track? What would be an obstacle for running track next year?
Me not wanting to run
And how would you
practice.
how would you know if you want to do it?
Because it's like a gut feeling that you get. You're just like, I don't want to do this today, or I don't want to run. However,
Okay.
so
On a good day, what happens when you decide I want to do things? What is it that you do differently on those good days?
those things get done.
Things get done. But how do they get done? Where does that
They just
energy
get
come from?
done.
You don't know. Don't you like that energy? It sounds like it's productive energy. You said things get done. Very positive. How can there be more of that for you? How can you have more days where things get done and that you are excited about them and involved? You don't know. Give it some thought. You know something. I think you know. You're not telling me. Huh?
I don't know right now.
You don't know right now. Okay. Well, that's all very positive. So we are going to meet for your senior year. How exciting, huh? Because we want to make sure that you're on track. And I think that we can come up with a plan for you. But I want it to be your plan. I want it to be something that you are excited about. So when you leave school, tell me what you do after school. What does your day look like? Tell me 3 things that you do on a regular basis.
I go home, I eat, shower, do homework, and go to sleep.
Okay, that's more than 3. How do you travel back and forth from and to school?
I bicycle to school.
Ah, you ride your bike. I like that. How long does that take you?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. You're on time to school, so you must leave in enough time to do that. So that's not an issue. So 15 minutes. That's also exercise for you too.
Sure.
Does that help you in terms of running track? Riding your bike?
Yes.
You guess? Okay. And other than track, no other sports appeal to you?
At this time, really.
Not this time. So when you're on your way to college, you think you might be interested in sports or track?
It just depends on how I feel when I get there, you know?
Got it. How do you feel? We want you to feel good. We want to see how we can get that motivation going so that you can make more things happen positive for you. And any ideas on what you can do that would help motivate you to have a good day every day?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know? So when you have a good day, you don't know what makes you have a good day? Do you get plenty of rest the night before?
Most times.
Okay. Do you cook?
Not really.
Not really? Okay. Because you did mention you go home and you eat, you do homework and you sleep. How much time do you spend on your homework?
I don't know, just depends on how much I eat. Usually like an hour or 2.
Hour or 2. Okay, so this week you're going to be doing a little more time because you're preparing for those exercises in physics. And I want you to stay focused, and yet at the same time you do have to get some rest. So next week we'll continue our conversation and talk about some elements of college, okay? Okay, you have a wonderful day. Thank you, Jerome.